Welcome back to your favorite time of the week, your favorite show to listen to or watch, the Childish Grownups Show, where we keep everything nostalgic, take you back to a simpler time that a lot of us grew up in, whether you're a millennial or a zennial or Gen X. Yeah, and I'm gonna leave it there. But I am the world-class Maurice Hunter III, aka Mochaccino. I'm here with my two wonderful co-hosts, Ash Bash, Mia B. Ladies, how y'all feeling?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay.
I'm exhausted today, guys, but I'm hanging in there, ready to do this.
Yeah, she's about to have a Jordan flu game. You know what I'm saying? She's about to still put up numbers on the flu game. You got to get Scottie Pippen to take her off the floor. She's still about to put up. She might not know that reference, but that's okay.
I do actually.
Aha! Look at you.
Play my girl. Crazy.
All right, you and your go yard. You go, girl. Oh, man, but we're glad to be back. Truly, we had a good time with last week's episode of Talking Dirty After Dark. And we're going to have a good time with this one. And y'all hold tight to the end because it is on Ash, and Ash has the last pick before we get to the Stoop Kid selection. I've already put it out there for y'all, so by the time y'all hearing this, y'all need to go back and check y'all Instagram feed, start sending in those movies. You can send them in here as a comment. You can send it on our Instagram, the Childish Grownups Show, no spaces. So, with that being said, we do have a few little comments here. So, on YouTube, Justin Hines, 9644, commented around. He kind of caught. He left a comment from our He Got Game, but we were already in the midst of recording this, so it was already recording the last one, so he kind of missed that. But we got you, dog. Don't worry. So it was around the 9-minute 34 mark. He said, "You didn't have to do that, big dog. We have to let the youth know there's a better way." Laugh my ass off. So he's referring to the Mad Dog thing. Oh man, I know, brother. I know we do, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you gotta, you know what I mean. You gotta pop out and show them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show your teeth a little bit. See what's really going on. So that's from him. Shout out to Justin Hines. Thank you, man. Got another comment, and this is actually from Talking Dirty After Dark. It's from my man Public Enemy B. He says, "Wow. I instantly thought about Fifth Element when Mo said something about Tiny being typecast." Hey, that is crazy how our stuff just intertwines like that. That's crazy. Can't wait to have that conversation too about Tiny.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and shout out to Public Enemy because that was like deep in the episode too.
Yeah, that was, and I don't know if he's referring to when Mia brought it up or when she actually gave the reveal. So either way,
he said once you said you saw him in some alien movie, and then Mia picked it. So
yeah,
he, found out the reveal. So he pretty much listened to the whole thing.
All right, man, that's cool. Like that's the best part is like being able to hold people's attention for an hour and a half, 2 hours, where they're tuned in and they're looking forward to our style of review. So shout out to Public Enemy B, man, staying to the end. Lastly, we got an Instagram comment from Mama C. It's so good to hear from her as always. And she wrote into our last episode, Talking Dirty After Dark. "Y'all have done it again! ! Another great episode. Fire emoji."
Appreciate you.
Hey. Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, tell us what it was like when this movie came out. What was the time like? Put us on game. Give us a little update on what it was like back then when this movie came out. Because I can totally see people saying, "Yo, let's go to the movies," and different times. So, but yeah, shout out to Mama C as always, just keeping us updated, staying tapped in with us, being one of the greatest supporters we have on the Childish Grownups Show. If y'all want to write in, again, y'all can leave it on YouTube, leave an Apple review, Spotify comments. People that are listening on Spotify, we do read comments from there too. As well as our Instagram, and also y'all can email us to childishgrownups3@gmail.com. Childish grown up moments. While we're talking about that, Ash, you got something for us?
Always starting with me.
You're queen of them. Come on.
Light this week, y'all, but I watched Juice with the hubby because he never fully watched it. And he was like, because I was just on Tubi, just searching. And I was like, "You seen Juice?" By the way, I was like, "Whoa!" I said, "You can't be walking around the street saying that. That'll get you messed up."
Mm-mm.
So I said, "No time like the present." So I just clicked on it, and we literally just started watching it that night. And like just to watch his experience, like as a first timer, like it's just so funny because I know the moments that are coming where you finna be like, "Oh, this is where it turns." The friends starting off happy, everything good, then Bishop just go rogue. And so just to see his experience with it, just put me in a childish bag, of course, when I saw it. And he was just like, "What? Like, believe he killed Raheem?" I'm like, "Dude, you really didn't watch, like
You
you
ain't
didn't
really.
get far at all."
Nah,
Because
that's like top.
he was like, and then like as he kept killing Vitamins, all them, he like, "Oh, he is like he was just, what I mean, that first watch of
Hey,
Juice,
I
I'm like,
wish I could watch that for the first time again.
yeah, so it was a nice experience, and I was just like, "Yeah, your boy was crazy."
Hey, real quick, what was the biggest reaction scene that came from him? Was it the Raheem? Was it the elevator? Because that elevator scene is
I know
crazy.
the elevators
That's one of them
diabolical.
ones. That's one of them ones.
Yeah, it's the Raheem. Like he couldn't, because y'all boys, and you
Yeah,
just,
the trailer even sell it like that. Like,
yeah. And so yeah, it was Raheem. He was like, and
mm-mm-mm.
I know what's gonna happen. I'm already like,
But you like, hey, let me suspend all belief and just get into it with him. Like,
yeah. It was fun though. It made me feel like my first watch. I'm like,
yeah.
so,
Hey, man, shout out to T, man. What about you, Mia B? You got something for us this week?
I don't. Like, I really been racking my brain trying to figure out if I had any little moments over the
Mhm.
past week that felt nostalgic or childish, and I'm like, I'm drawing a complete blank.
And it be like that sometimes. That's all right.
But to piggyback on what Ash said, I can't wait till we talk about juice because I
Oh
have
yes,
thoughts.
that might be October. Who
oh,
knows? Like, because this, I'm gonna tell you right now, Mia B, as the horror girly that you are. We're gonna expand on that genre
No,
because
not, do not,
Juice
don't.
is a horror film. All right,
oh Lord,
at least at thriller at least.
Okay, we talk about Mo.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Off air, let's look up what the definition of it is, and then we'll go from that criteria. Or you give me your criteria.
We don't touch horror. That
what
is
did I don't even
Huh?
remember what I picked
The
last year.
faculty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I picked Bones, and
Chill, man, chill, bro. You gotta do better this year because you
I
clown
got
with
to do
both.
better this year.
Do better, even
That-
though
Wasn't
for
that
real,
enjoyable review though? Wasn't it? Like y'all
we had school and everything.
and
It
y'all was
was.
talking about y'all man. Speaking of juice,
I know,
so
Khalil.
I told you like but I'll lock in. I'll lock in. Goodness gracious, Mia. Well,
Gotta dial in, man.
sheesh. My childish grown up moment. So I don't know if y'all should be familiar, but y'all know the YouTube channel Cocoa Butter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mia, if you haven't checked it out, are you a fan of watching people cook or cooking competitive type stuff?
yeah.
Okay. You will like this because it's like it'll be like black people versus white people, and they'll do like tacos, or they'll do like they have three moms make who can make the best potato salad, and they react and taste each other's stuff. So it's really good. But for me, so they've done on their budget meals. Actually done probably 3-4 of them. So I called myself actually right before cooking up a budget meal, putting it together, and turned it into gourmet. And this is if I could put the picture up here, I would put the picture up. And I'm telling you, it was flame. Took some nuggets, some angel hair pasta noodles, some peppers and onions, and then I was like, man, I got this Alfredo in here. But I was like, you know what? I want to make my own sauce. I happen to have some heavy cream. Now I do understand a true budget meal, you're not going to have heavy cream because heavy cream is expensive.
Expensive.
So it's yeah, ha 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 ha. Hey, I got it from Mia. You know what I'm saying? Mia, you got heavy cream in the fridge?
I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. You're right. Right. All right. All right. It's back on me. All right. You're right.
You
Uh,
got half and half over there.
look at
Look.
the half and half now. So got the nuggets going through them in the oven, got them crispy, chopped them up into fine pieces, got the angel hairs going, cut the peppers and the onions, made my own sauce with the heavy cream and garlic. Man, you would have thought this, like anybody would have tried this and be like, yo, this is banging right now. This is Olive Garden tier right now. And it took me back to like back in the day where where moms used to, all of us been there before, where you have a parent at one point or a time, and everybody's budget meal looks different, of course. So no shame in nobody's game, but mom used to put these meals together out of nowhere, and they used to be so freaking good, dude. Like, and so and tying it back to the cocoa butter thing, it's interesting when they do the struggle meals with, not struggle meals, budget meals with like like they did it with like I think like Spanish, black and white or something like that, and like it's interesting to see the culture of what they consider, because one of them had like a tortilla with cheese and a bunch of like quesadillas, with just cheese. And, us, of course, black people, the first thing I come to mind is always spaghetti. You can't never lose with that. So that it was just a childish grown up moment in a sense for me that I grew up like that, having those moments and being able to like also provide in that way was like, you know what? Let me put y'all on game. Let y'all try this out. Get this flavor palette going. And of course, the kids ain't gonna never know. They don't really know. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we know. And there's just a sense of accomplishment when you're able to take limited resources in a stretch and be able to put some fire together. So it made me feel good. That was like a good little self accomplishment for myself. So hey man, y'all write in. That's what I would love to hear. Y'all write in on y'all budget meals. Like I would love to hear like what y'all got where y'all gotta like, hey yo, like I'm getting paid right here. It's coming up real quick, but y'all hit us up, man. I would love to get some good laughter and put us on game. It might be something interesting that we might have to try out. So yeah, those are childish grown up moments, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I know me and I know she's gonna have something next week. I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, look, we still to the beat, and I'm gonna need your help, I'm sure, in this next segment. Ash.
Well, it is time for the Flash with Ash, and we do have some trivia today. I know y'all missed it, and since it's been so long, I had to come out the gate swinging with one of my favorites, Friends.
Oh,
So this is an all girlfriends edition too. Like we're going 3 straight from the same show. I'm not playing today.
My goodness, I definitely need your help today.
It's all girlfriends.
These are terrible though. Like I feel like y'all gonna do all right.
You always say that, you know that. Right?
In there, you know what I'm saying? Like bro, kind of beat, but all right. So the first one, this is easy, y'all. What is the name of the law firm where William Dent eventually becomes a partner? Blackwell and Associates, Sweetelson and Marks, Johnson, Dent and Reeves, Goldberg, Sweetelson, McDonald and Lee.
I know Sweetelson is one of the names. I know that. It's the partner that's always trying to be hip. I definitely know that's Sweetelson, but we still got 2 choices with Sweetelson in it.
Okay, say those 2 options one more time, Ash.
Sweetelson and Marks, or Goldberg, Sweetelson, McDonald, and Lee.
I don't remember it being that many.
I don't either. That's what it's not like a lot of names. It could be, but I'm going Sweetelson, Marks, and then there was Dent. So yeah, I'm going Sweetelson and Marks. That's what I think.
I'm a rock with my boy on this one.
Goldberg, Sweetelson, McDonald, and Lee.
Oh my
See,
God.
that Goldberg is what stood out to me. We all know Sweetelson, like
yeah.
But the Goldberg and McDonald sounds familiar too. That Lee though, I got to look.
See, that unfair because you never seen other partners.
True.
See,
but you Terry just got a bunch of names on the on the brick and mortar. But I thought y'all had that one, but it's okay. We're moving on. What college did Joan Clayton attend?
Say it again.
Stanford University. Oh, what college did Joan Clayton attend? Stanford University, UCLA, Spelman, or University of Southern California?
Okay, Stanford, Spelman, USC, or what?
University of Southern California.
That no,
USC.
Oh, UCLA.
um,
Stanford. I don't know. I'm shooting from half court. I have no idea, bro.
I don't know. Joan doesn't give me HBCU girly, but
Mm-mm. Ain't
I
no more
could.
Maya for sure. If she had went,
I'm gonna say Stanford.
yeah, I'm wrong with Stanford.
Incorrect. It was UCLA.
LA.
Cali. Uh,
Oh, that seems so. She seems like an Ivy League girly.
Yeah, it seemed like she would hang her hat on. Hey, I might be a woman in the law firm, but I went to Stanford. No disrespect to the other, colleges, but it just seemed like she would hang her hat on that in that predominantly male field, and especially that office. But yeah,
Jeez, Pete Ash.
I mean, listen, it's been a while, so we gotta. Now this one, no, yeah, let me not say it. All right, the last one, but just think about it, okay? What was the name of Tony Child's brother that Maya dated? Marcus, Jalen, Antoine, or Terrence? Now, her brother was in school to be a doctor. And remember, the mom didn't want Maya dating the brother. She was like, she divorced, got kids, whatever. And it was Charles from BMF, the father. That was the brother. So just to
Okay,
kind of
give
lay
me
some
give me
visuals
the
out.
choices one more time.
Antoine, Marcus, Jalen, or Terrence?
it ain't Marcus.
Antoine.
He looked like an Antoine, but he looked like all the other three names.
It's either Antoine or Terrence, I think, but I'm gonna go with Antoine.
I guess I'm rolling with you because they all. It's just another name for me. I have no. I remember the story once you gave the description, but the name is just not there.
I figured that would help kind of lay the land a
Yeah,
little bit.
that face. As soon as you said, I'm like, oh, that's my guy.
Antoine is correct. Yes, you got it right.
Antoine Childs.
Yeah. He was on there going to school to be a doctor.
I remember Tony saying her brother's name.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you have it. That is the Flash with Ash today, you guys. Coming out 1 of 3. But at least you're on the board. For the first time back, you're at least on the board. I think I did good.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Ash.
You're welcome.
Well, before we go into the time machine and Mia takes us back to the movie that we're reviewing today in the year, I want to lay the land of what was going on in 1997. In 97, so a little bit of the world events. Princess Diana dies in a Paris car crash. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure none of us probably remembered this. Did you remember this at all, or have you ever looked up like the movies or anything about Princess Diana?
I've watched and read a lot. Like I've watched documentaries. I watched one of the movies about her. I remember I remember it vaguely, but not with any specifics. But of course I know the details now based on like all the media that came out after the fact.
Okay. They got some more world events. I'm gonna leave it there. Just because there's so much world events going on now. That ain't what y'all here for. So I'm gonna leave that there. It ain't gonna get no better than what I'm gonna read there. So let's go into movies that was going on in '97. Titanic dominates everything, highest grossing ever at that time. Which we know that was a big wave. Men in Black. How ironic is that with the movie we're doing today? Will Smith becomes the box office king. Yeah, man. I wish there was a way. Shout out to our big cousins, the Culture Garden. They had that Will Smith conversation. I don't know where and what platform, but I would love to talk about Will and just I would have our own version of it, But Good Will Hunting. It was a breakout for Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Soul Food. We know what that did, especially for our culture. And a few more. Obviously, the movie we're doing today, Fifth Element, but Love Jones, one of y'all favorites. Face Off, very interesting movie, and a movie we've done if you haven't heard it already, Liar Liar. Music. So the notorious B.I.G. is killed, which obviously we know that was a huge moment, and it was a sad moment. It was in the dark days around this time. There's another album that came out by a guy that's affiliated with Biggie, but we're gonna keep moving. Super Duper Fly drops, which was Missy Elliott, and it's actually one of my favorite album covers. Like, if y'all ain't never seen it, y'all should look at it. Like the text, the foot, the whole kick it bag she was in. My Way from Usher, and that's when he became a star, is on that album. And that My Way, they don't even. I wish they would play it more on the radio. Like, they play a lot of the Confession stuff all the time, like on satellite or whatever. But I wish they play My Way more, because that's that joint. And then boy bands rise, Backstreet and NSYNC. We know how that went.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. TV and pop culture. So South Park debuts, which was edgy adult animation. Wasn't a South Park fan, but my cousins was. Buffy the Vampire Slayer premieres. You a Buffy girl?
I actually, funny story, I had 2 like pet bunnies when I was young. I had a black one named Buffy and a white one named Angel.
Oh, you tied in. Got both of them, the original and spinoff, huh? All right. Shout out to School too, because he I think he had recently rewatched it. He was just talking about how I keep hearing good things about this show, and I ain't never watched it. So I'm like, eventually I'm gonna have to cycle that in. WWF Attitude Era starts heating up, and this is the Stone Cold era. Y'all know how much we love that here. The talk show, we had the talk shows was getting up there, and who was leading the talk shows? Mia, do you know?
Gotta be the Cincinnatian, right?
My man's
Jerry Springer.
You know it. You know it, and it was at its peak wildness.
Shout out to our former mayor.
It's still a crazy thing every time I hear that. Sports. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls win another title. And how crazy is this? This is how I be working. I just be saying stuff and it just be happening like that. And that ain't even a flex or anything. But the iconic flu game. I just said this about, like, bro, how crazy is this? The iconic flu game in the NBA Finals, which I'm gonna throw y'all a pick. I'm gonna throw. Well, she know what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna throw it in there just in case. But yeah, that's the iconic flu game. Mike Tyson bites Evander. He bites Evander Holyfield's ear off. Bro, that is one of the craziest things I ever heard as a kid. When I heard that, I said, "What do you mean he bit his ear?" It didn't even compute. Lastly, on the sports, if I can get off of this thing, WNBA launches. Wow, I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought it was a little older than that. I didn't know 97. Wow. And we see what the WNBA is now. Lastly, GoldenEye 007 drops, which we obviously know this is like the original Call of Duty that we loved. And you know, our man, what's his Brosman? What's his name? I can't remember his name, but he's on the GoldenEye 007 cover, and he obviously played in the movies. He played in like 3 James Bond movies. He is in our era. That's James Bond. Like when I see him, that's James Bond because he's on the game, so he's official. Tamagotchi craze. Was you a Tamagotchi girl, Mia?
I did have a Tamagotchi.
Okay. I think they kind of brought it back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, not lastly, but DVDs began replacing VHS. Internet still was in dial-up. And yeah, so So that kind of lays the land of 1997. It was kind of good to go back. I felt good on this one. This felt really nice. I don't know why. You know, some cool little stuff going on there. So, but it's time for us to get in that time machine. Mia is in control of that. She pulls the lever and take us back. So, Mia, go on, do that thing.
Okay. Back to 1997 to discuss the film The Fifth Element. In the colorful future, cab driver Korben Dallas unwittingly becomes the central figure in the search for a legendary cosmic weapon to keep the great evil and Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg at bay. For cast, we have Bruce Willis as Korben Dallas, Mila Jovovich, which she came back pretty quickly, didn't she? As Leeloo, Ian Holm as Vito Cornelius, Chris Tucker as Ruby Rhod, Gary Oldman as Zorg, Luke Perry as Billy, Brian James as General Monroe, and Tom Tiny Lister Jr. as President Lindbergh. And this film was released on May 9th, 1997.
Okay. So, Mia, you picked this movie. So, first, I know this was a press play for us, but for you, if you could be kind and rewind, take us back to how you remember this film growing up in the lore in maybe your life or your household, and then tell me what your experience was like this time watching it. And I don't know if you explained at the end of last episode what made you choose this, but
So, okay, I grew up with this film. Of course, I didn't see it at 6, 7 years old, like in theaters, but I remember, I think the first time I ever saw it was on TV, either like TNT, HBO, one of those, like, it was on, I remember it being on TV and watching it that way. And then Me and Mama C, this is one of our, like, favorite movies to watch together. We had it on DVD, and this is one of the ones that got me into like behind the scenes work with movies. I used to watch the special features of this movie all the time and like get all the background on how they built the costumes and the world and like the makeup and everything like that. So, yeah, this is one of the movies that got me super interested in film when I was really young, probably like 10, 11 years old. And, I have a lot of like those sentimental, nostalgic feelings around this movie. And even now watching it, it's just really cool. Like, it's a very complex movie that I don't know. I'll have to see how you guys like interpret it as first time watchers, but it's one of those movies that the more you see it, the more you notice and the more like you pick up on.
okay. Ash.
So it was a press play for your girl. Y'all got me what, 2 in a row? It's kind of crazy, but it was cool. It wasn't, again, no expectation. So like it took me a minute. Like I was like, because I was kind of in and out, but I'm like, I really got to pay attention so I can kind of grasp what's going on because it was a lot going on. And so I really had to pay attention so I wouldn't lose track of everything. And then seeing Chris Tucker on the screen, of course, like he was wilding. But it's a cool movie.
Yeah, also press play for me as well. My wife had watched this, like I said, a little ways ago, maybe a few months back, maybe more than that. Who knows? Time flies. And I kind of caught some clips here and there. I was familiar with the movie from clips. I also shout out to School and Rio. They actually did a School's Guilty Pleasure, which I did listen to today, which was a great episode that they did maybe a year or two ago on this movie. And watching it, I just thought that it just looked so dope. Like I just thought it's like everything, but it just looked good, bruh. And it's just this crazy thing about the 90s and special effects. It's like, why does this look so good? Why does this look better than now? And it ain't just because that's my era, that's when I grew up. But it's like movies like this, it's like, bruh, why does this look so dang on good? So I just love the look. I love kind of the world building that they did as far as like, yo, they stay, this is what an apartment is in 2200, year, whatever year that there was or something like that. And, uh, the flying cars, the traffic, the just like, there's things about the movie I wish I would have got more out of, you know what I'm saying? And not from like a later section, but more because I was more intrigued by this world that I was like, I would like to see some more stuff. I like to see a day in the life. Like, we get to scenes like he's getting Chinese food, where the man pulls up with the, what I'm saying? Like, or you get the taxi, get the Uber situation. You know what I mean? I would like to just see just the common, like just see this world in general. So, so I thought it was a good movie. Yeah, I thought it was a good movie overall. This is a movie I would watch again. I had no problems with it. I don't know how it's gonna work here, but like listening to, like I said, School, and kind of gave me an idea of how to gauge it. So, with that being said, Chris Tucker, elephant in the room. What do y'all think? And there's been some interesting things over the years that he said about this role. But what do y'all think about Chris Tucker's role in this movie? And I know you probably already know Mia, but Ash, you might not know. But I believe the writer, the director, he originally wanted Prince for the role, or Mike, And so I'll put that there. Now, what do y'all think about Chris Tucker, him in his film and his character?
I'll let Ash go first because, as we know, I've seen this movie a trillion times, so I have
Ruby, is it Ruby Rhod? Ruby Rhod?
Rod.
Ruby Rhod. All right.
It was cool. Like, I mean, so he's dressing feminine, but then he's still like into the ladies. So it's like, that's what you did there. Because at first I'm thinking, oh, he's
Yeah.
obviously, but then they like he getting busy with the women. He's doing a lot. He did provide the comic relief in the movie. And I actually started liking it more the more I was seeing him. Like that was my personal, like I liked seeing he was kind of starting to be in more of the roles with Korben and getting the elements and doing all that. So I feel like I was starting to be more locked in the more that I was seeing him. I mean, you can't miss him clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, are you saying like you just want to know what I thought about his role and all?
Yeah, like just his role, how you felt he did, how you how you feel like his role was really important to the movie, like just and the Chris Tucker we know, like, well, how do you feel like this locks in within his legacy, or like how we feel about him, especially us in our community specifically?
Okay, so. Yeah, I mean, I think Chris was definitely being Chris. It was giving Rush Hour, it was giving Money Talks with the front, like that type of. It definitely was giving that, and I mean, I think he stayed in his bag when it came to the comedy. He just obviously was dressing very feminine. And then I'm kind of like, what were they putting him in there for? Like, I don't know that he was necessary, in my opinion. But I'm like, maybe it's a deeper meaning. Maybe he was in there as a distraction of what's really going on. Like, obviously they're trying to save the world, but then you have this flamboyant guy. Like, I don't know, like how they were trying to, is this just a distraction from what's really going on in the world? Even like how, today, like there's a lot of things that they're putting in front of us to distract us from what's really going on. But overall, yeah, it was funny. And again, I enjoyed the movie more the more that I saw. So.
What about you, Mia?
So obviously, for those of us who grew up with this movie, who like as a cult classic, who've watched it, this is like an iconic character. You see this character being parodied Comic-Con, Halloween. Like, this is like one of his most iconic characters he's ever played because he's so out there and flamboyant. And I don't think anybody else could have done it the way Chris Tucker did it. Like, he is such a unique comedy style, a unique
I'll bring up one person that School
personality.
now brought up, if you remember. But go ahead, my bad. Sorry.
And I just think he brought something so real to the character. And I think because of the backdrop and it being the future, and it's like a play on what will masculinity look like in the future, what will be considered sexy in the future. And we've seen, like, as time progresses, like, it goes through its ebbs and flows as far as like the hyper masculine, the metrosexual man, everything. And this is just kind of like a interesting take on what will be the look of masculinity or sexuality in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was really cool. And I love anything that veers away from the norm. As y'all know, I like the weird and unusual.
Yeah.
I know that Chris Tucker himself has some different feelings about this as he has grown into, the person that he is today.
Mm-hmm.
That good Christian man. But I've always loved this character. It's one of my favorite characters in any film that I've seen. And it's a great contrast to who Korben Dallas is because he's so rugged, like Bruce Willis. And then you have Ruby Rhod, who's like the complete opposite. And I think they play really well off of each other as like the straight man and the comic relief and like the sidekick character.
Yeah. I thought this was amazing. This coming into this movie where they doing an excellent job world building and not really needing to explain a whole lot. They just immerse you nicely into it. Seeing him, because he's like a part of the vacation thing. Like he's like, I don't know, like he's like the host of
He's a radio personality. Like, he has a radio show.
Okay, so he's a radio personality. So when you see him and he's doing this, like, this is what, obviously after this is when he got, I believe he got Rush Hour. But this will put him like on a different trajectory, because I think when they seen him, how committed he was and how willing he was, with the exception of him making the suggestion like, hey, listen, he still needs to be in the women. That was Chris Tucker's like his touch, like, which I think it worked perfectly. I'm like, because it is on some like Prince vibes or some Michael Jackson, or you're looking at him a certain way, but then you're like, no, he's getting busy. He just has a different expression. It is different, but he genuinely was into it. And I was like, yo, he's going through, he's about to, what I'm saying, he's all face to face with him, dropping sweat on the nose, what I'm saying? Like, bro, he all up in there. And, of course, they're getting ready to take off, and so is he. So I was like, bro, that was good. And he was funny. He commanded the screen immediately. Like, we don't do scene stillers. Shout out to our big cousins, but he obviously would be that, because he takes over when he gets there. And then when he's like, then they put him back, and you're kind of like, bro, bring him back. I want more. I want to see what else he's going to do. Like, he commands, like, and that just speaks to Chris Tucker's ability, because this made me realize, Chris Tucker is not just a great actor. He's a great character actor. So he brings characters alive, which is not always easy, because yeah, you say there's Chris-isms, like there's Denzel-isms, there's, Tom Cruise-isms, but what he does here with this character, what he does in Dead Presidents, and that character, especially when he's on drugs, you're like, oh wow, he's really this. When he is the Detective James Carter, you're looking at him like he's, every time he shows up, even in Jackie Brown, like, he plays a small role in that movie, Quentin Tarantino movie, but even then, it's like, bro, he's a great character actor. He brings these characters to life in a smooth way. So she turned the camera back on. That's hilarious. All right. Now, what I wanted to bring up, and again, School and them had posed this idea of who else could have possibly played that role, and I think they named one person. That's the only other person that possibly could have done it. Marlon Wayans.
Oh, that's tough because like while I see it, I see
Mm-hmm.
where they would say that, but there's just something about like Chris Tucker and his like
His look.
how he acts, but yeah, but the look of him when he was really young. He had a very androgynous like look, very baby face
Mm-hmm.
with like he was cute, but like in this
Like a unique way.
yeah, it was like he had a futuristic kind of look to him, even like with the makeup, but like even like the shape of
His
his
jaw.
jaw and his lips, like when
Yeah.
they glossed them up, it was very like he was pretty enough to play the role. And I feel like Marlon, while he has like the comedic chops and like the physical comedy, and like that like I could see him doing it, but just the look, I don't know if it would have played the same.
That's crazy. I'm looking at him now, and I think you're absolutely right. It is this. Yeah, hey yo, where y'all gonna get this type of breakdown? That was excellent. Like that needs to be a highlight itself. Because no, I'm serious. Because like when you look at when you like who's watching movies that close to say no, I'm gonna get into his actual genetics and why just aesthetically and genetically he fits. And you're right, like the jawline, kind of the smooth, the broad shoulders, the mocha skin. Like shout out to Rush Hour. What size is the waist? Let's go in.
Let's go
Uh,
in.
but yeah, you're right. When they put the blonde one on, then they put the other wig on with the and he got like a strong face, but like you said, a youthful look to him, and he's skinny enough. I mean, you're right. Like I see what you mean, and he's the perfect person for something that you would never on paper would not see. And this is coming off of Friday, so I wonder. Do you know how he got this role at all?
I don't. I know that I watched something about it, but I can't remember. Like it's evading me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like it's just one of those things that like I feel like it couldn't have been a more perfect situation. However, he came to be this character, it was just perfect. Girl, we see
We
you.
see you, bro. Acting like she came from a real room, bro.
Sorry, I'm sorry about that.
Hilarious, dude.
My apologies.
I'm about to turn you into a real. No.
Hey, listen.
Hilarious.
I had to. Yeah, sorry about that.
Mia just did a great display of like why he was a perfect pick. But the only other person threw in the hat, like I said, I got this from school in Rio, but they said Marlon Wayans.
I could see that.
But
Yeah.
but Mia nailed it because she was like, it's something about Chris Tucker's look. Like he had a futuristic kind of look, even like the jaw, like
Some eyes too.
the eyes. I said them eyes, like it's pretty. That was a really that's probably gonna be one of my favorite moments, Mia. That moment that you just did because that was so different. That was a different breakdown there. Yeah,
Can
for
I
real.
miss it?
I know you did. Now you got to listen back like the rest of the Stoop kids. Oh my God. All right, one more, and then we can get kind of into it. Tiny, he's a president in this, and again, shout out to school and them. They made a funny joke about like this is how much they thought there would be a black president. They wait to the year 2020, 2208 or whatever the year is. I might as well at this point. You might as well have a nigga be a president. Which is hilarious. Obviously, we have had a black president since then, but that is a funny angle. But how did y'all feel he did in this week? I know I spoke gripes last episode about kind of typecasting him, but how do y'all feel he did?
He did good. I mean, I took him serious. I I tried to, obviously watch it with a good lens and not think of him and all his other roles. Like, I mean, for the screen time that he had, I mean, I think he did good for what what they gave him. Um, it worked for me. But when they said he was the president, then I was like, okay, now. Now, if he was just serious as somebody else, but the president, come on, nah. I mean, it worked, but I'm just like, I would expect him to be the president. But yeah.
Okay, I might be biased
You
because
are. No,
like low key, probably.
That's fine.
But I really love him in this role because it's so different than everything else that he's done that we've seen him in. And as a kid watching it, we hadn't had a black president. So it was really cool at that age to be like, oh my goodness, this is what they see as the future. It's just normal. Like we don't have to think it's this huge accomplishment for a black man to be the president. And, you know, I think that Tiny or Tom, I'll say, because that's how he's billed in the credits is the Tom Lister, but he's got he's gonna be him in no matter what role he's in. Like he's always got this like intimidating almost air about himself, which is why I think it worked for him to be the president in a movie like this. Now, if it was like White House Down or something like that, maybe not. But in a movie that doesn't take itself as seriously, then I see it, it works.
I got a question about Tom Tiny Liston, but I'll say I liked seeing him visually. I thought it was dope. I would say I think he needed like a dialect coach.
Agreed.
It was too the tone, the pronunciation of how he was speaking was too non-president. And I ain't saying like this whole talk white or this and that or whatever people be saying. I'm saying I'm looking for a specific type of sound with this being sci-fi and it's being president and he's the most qualified. He's at the top of the chain. I wanted to see a little bit more like reserve in the voice because sometimes it just felt like he was just talking like how we talk. And in my mind, that kind of take me out of it a little bit. Like, no way you're the president. You know what I mean? Because I'm supposed to believe you're more brilliant than anybody, and it's like the way he was talking. Not to say people got accents, people talk all kind of way. They could be more brilliant, more intelligent than a ton of people. So I ain't saying that ain't the truth, but I just wish it would have been that, or there would have been a moment where you see the president and he, maybe, and again, I know this is leaning a little bit in the stereotype, but have a moment where the president get active and let him know, oh, this is why I'm president. Now put my jacket back on and let's get back to order. I would have liked, that's what I really wanted. If not, the dialect was number two, but number one was I wanted to see the president get active. Like, oh, I gotta get the gun. We got to fight them off just to see like, oh, this is why he president. Cause he topped off. So I would, again, this ain't in the later section, but it was just something I like, but I think Tiny did fine. Like I have no issue with how he did. This is just preference for me, as far as what I would have liked for him, but I'm so glad, rest in peace. I'm so glad that he got the opportunity to showcase himself in a different way. So, that was dope to me. Okay, Mia.
Yes.
Yeah. Where do you want to go? How do you want to go about this? I'm pretty free. My notes are not really notes. So
yeah.
I am open to how we want to talk about the plot or we talk about characters or whatever, however you want to do it.
So I was thinking that too while I was watching. I'm like, okay, how am I going to do these notes? Because there's so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my notes basically set up like the opening scene just to establish what the movie is even about.
Okay.
Because everything else I have is very character driven, but we have to establish like what the plot is about.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
So because it starts still in the future to us, but wait, hold on, because I can't remember what year it was supposed to have started. Like the beginning scene was hundreds of years before when the movie took place.
Right.
Um,
Because what they say, it comes around every 5,000 years, or was it 500 years,
It
or
was like
it's 5,000, right?
I don't think it was 5,000. I think it had to have been.
I'm gonna look
These
it
are
up
the
while
I
y'all.
think
details
it
that I
was.
should have been paying attention to. But I
uh,
just know that it took place sometime before, like at least 1,000 years, I think, or like 500, something like
All right,
that.
so the beginning is Egypt, 1914.
1914. Okay. And then the plot of the movie takes place in
I gotta see. I gotta pull it up on the side here, but yeah, I'll find out.
Okay, so what we're establishing basically is that this professor, he's discovering this hieroglyph where it shows all these secrets of the universe, the secrets of the stones, which represent the elements, and a fifth element, and that eventually these elements are going to have to come together to fight a great evil sometime in the future. And there's a priest who basically is like the keeper of these stones, and we have an alien presence that comes to collect the stones because they're no longer safe on Earth. The priests are like the keepers of all the secrets. They're supposed to be guarding this information. And so that's how we set it up. They're taking the stones away from Earth, and then we jump ahead hundreds of years, um, at least 1,000 years ahead to well, not at least 1,000. I keep saying that like I know that for sure. I don't know. I don't remember what year it's set in, but it is in the far future from that. And now we see, we're introduced to Tiny as the president, and the great evil is finally here. And that's where we get like the plot set up, and we meet Korben Dallas, who at this moment is just ex-military, currently a cab driver who's none the wiser to any of these things going on.
Yeah. I when I first when I seen the opening scene, I thought it looked. I mean, again, I'm gonna say that y'all hear this over and over. Like my favorite part of this movie is the visual aesthetic. Like they didn't waste no time. I mean, they spent $90 million on this alone. You know what I mean? So they took their time on every little angle, every little special effect, every little tech that they could. So it looked really good. I shout out to my man Luke Perry, obviously 90210 Beverly Hills 90210 alum, but I'll speak to that in a later section. But yeah, I liked it. I thought the robots looked really good. The robots were on the human side, right?
Yes. So can we just take a minute? Can we talk about the visuals? Because that is really cool, but I want to talk about the visuals.
Okay.
I
Well,
think
go ahead.
okay, so yeah, the robots, they're the aliens.
Hmm.
They're on the side of the good. They're the ones who are there to protect the stones. And
Hmm.
then we see that they get eliminated in the future trying, because someone's trying to get the stones. But I always thought it was so cool because these don't look like any aliens that you've ever seen in like another movie where we think of aliens. You don't think of them as like these
Hmm.
Mhm.
big robotic like metal creatures. And I always thought that was just really unique and cool.
Yeah. Ash, anything you want?
Visual. No,
No, go
I
ahead.
mean,
Yeah, go
immediately, hey, staring at Captain Boat, man.
ahead.
The visuals are great. Like seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, I know we'll get to it later with the opera singer and like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a
The
lot. Like
so what was the priest, the evil priest, I guess. What was he trying to let destruction happen? And by the way, this takes place in 2263.
2263. Okay. So what evil priest are you talking about?
So remember there was the guy that was scraping discovery. Scraping is that's so hood right there. But trying to get the info on what's to come, the prophecy. And then there's the other guy that the priest is trying to get him to drink the.
Okay.
So that's what I was trying to understand. I'm like, okay, but that priest dude was with the aliens, right?
Right. He wasn't an evil priest.
Okay.
He wasn't evil. He was on the side of good. He was like he's the one who was passing down knowledge through the priesthood, which eventually would get to Cornelius later.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they were trying to kill the professor is because he knew too much. Unfortunately, he was just collateral damage. Like, it wasn't because they were evil, it was just he wasn't supposed to know. They didn't want that information to get out.
I didn't need the pictures of somebody because that's the thing. It was so many like important characters, and I'm like as you're saying, and I'm trying to remember who's who.
Yeah, I literally got to pull it up. I like this is something that I'll literally watch while talking because I'm looking at it now, so that's how I'm able to.
Yeah, like I kind of want the visual while
I'll put this link in here so you can try it out if you know. But
that's the movie. You looking at the movie?
Yeah, I'm looking at the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like certain stuff. I'll just have to, do that because this is a detailed movie. Don't want to do it justice, especially for those that are huge fans of the movie. You know what I mean? They want to hear the Childish Grownup take on it. But I mean, again, but then who are they to say you know too much? Like, what do they think that they're going to finesse the situation to say, oh, we're going to use it for our advantage to take, to do world domination, or like, I couldn't gauge why he felt like he couldn't know that information.
Because it was only supposed to be known by the people who knew about the stones, like the people who kept the stones. So that alien race knew about it,
and
the priests knew about it, and that's it. It was a secret that was kept because the power of the stones, they felt like if anybody knew, then they would try to take the stones.
Okay.
And try to use that power for themselves, which we see Zorg eventually trying to do.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's fair. And what a great opening. Like I liked it, and again, I'll be very transparent here. I'm not a fan of movies being overly deep. Like I say this all the time. Like I like deep as far as, hey, make me think about it. But once you get all the Easter eggs, it's like, oh, okay, cool. But like if it's like overly, especially in the sci-fi genre, if it's like overly, like, bro, I'm out. Like, oh no, you got to go watch episode 3 of Star Wars in order to understand episode 7 of Star Wars. Like, bro, no, because I don't got time for that. Like, and if it ain't well executed, but this movie does a good job. Like, I was following for a long time. They kind of go when they get a little later towards the vacation side of it. They kind of start telling into. I'll speak to that later, but they kind of start tailing off a little bit because I was following it until they started expounding too much with too many antagonists, and I'm like, okay, we're getting into Spider-Man 3 territory. You know what I'm saying? And start getting there. I'm like, okay, well, who's the, but yeah. And go ahead. Was you about to say something?
No, I was gonna say, like, this movie it's complicated, but it's also very simple.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching it as a kid and being able to follow so well and not really paying that attention to some of the more intricate details until I was older. But it's sci-fi.
Yeah, but this movie makes sense though.
Yeah,
that's why I enjoyed it. because like it makes sense. I get it. Like this threat is a serious threat, and when we get that picture right after the intro, we see the president. He he has the order to destroy, and the old commander's like, man, look, I ain't asking no questions. Like we got to get this up out of here. But then the priest on the ship. The priest on the ship comes and he's telling like, hey, listen, this is what it is. And then the president is like, hey, I got doubt. But at that point, the commander is, gun ho about, which I kind of didn't understand once you realize you don't have nothing bigger. Yeah, I don't know. Like I was kind of thrown off, but I mean, I get it. But they did a good job of showing us that force, saying, hey, look, listen, it's up. If this, and say they realize there's intelligence with this force. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then, we get this scene of Korben waking up, and this is kind of I feel like this is where it picks up, but it's so weird because I don't know about y'all, but I be feeling like there's certain Bruce Willis movies where I feel like he's supposed to be the main character, but he don't feel like the main character. I don't know. It's like how they utilize him. I don't know, man. Like it's sometimes we feel, because I'm like, I guess he's the main character here, but it's like
what other movie reminds you of that?
Well, I mean Pulp Fiction, but I guess he's not the main character. I guess it's Jules and but I don't know. And then I gotta think about another movie. But
I was curious
because I really like Bruce Willis. I think we all do. Like he's one of our night, and unfortunately he's not acting anymore because of his condition. But like, man, Bruce Willis. I think he was in Expendables. I think he was like in the third or fourth one.
Maybe I don't.
They got all of the action heroes. Like,
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not a huge action movie girly. I like that. I have my ones that I love, so I don't like. I know a lot more of Bruce Willis's like other work. I wasn't a Die Hard girl, but
Die Hard might have to be a Christmas movie, as they say, right?
Christmas movie.
Nah, but yeah. So what? So you said after you kind of had the opening, you kind of got characters. Is that
Yeah, so like we get introduced to Korben, and like we see who he is, and like then we get introduced to Leeloo, and we see who she is and how they come together and what role they're each gonna play in the like greater story. Because it just so happens that they meet the way that they do because but the military wanted Korben to go and quote unquote save the world in the first place. Leeloo's here to save the world because she's the only one who can technically. And then they happen to meet in that like faded way when she drops into his cab.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like a meet cute in a way, in a rom-com sort of way, but it's all like a faded interaction because he has no idea what's going on. He's just trying to get through the day without getting any more points on his license. He doesn't want to get fired from his cab driving job. And then all of a sudden, this beautiful woman falls into his cab, and now he's on the ride of his life for the next 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So who was the guy that came to his door with the gun? Like who was that? I know it's like not a main person, but like
you're trying to rob him.
That was just his neighbor.
Oh, okay.
That was his neighbor, so he wasn't for real.
The guy with the crazy hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he had the when he looking through the the peephole, he got the like hallway picture on his thing, so he wasn't trying to really rob him though.
I got to make sure we're all talking about the same person.
Yeah, it was a dude where he was. Oh wait, who you talking about?
When we first meet Korben, he got the square thing on his head.
Yeah.
That's his crazy neighbor who was just trying to rob him and get some money, but because we find out Korben is ex-military, he knew how to disarm the gun and just send the guy on about his business.
Yeah, there's something to say about that too. Like even this being a futuristic movie where he served their, I don't even know what you call it. I mean, he served the unit that is in this world of the Fifth Element, and he still ends up with a bogus job as a taxi driver. Like, you know what I mean?
Being
Like, it's,
presidents.
you see what I'm saying? Like, bro, how that's it's kind of
Being
depressing in a sense. It's like, bro, even in 2263, you can serve your country, you can serve your ship, serve your unit, whatever your community, and still end up coming back, risking your life, end up in a taxi, driving a taxi, bro.
Which is so funny to me to see, like when I said like when I told you guys that I had picked this movie and I was talking about it being the future according to the 90s, because we probably won't even have taxis in 2263
No,
because even now people don't really use taxis like that. It's Uber, Lyft.
self-driving cars are now,
Exactly.
yeah.
You see what the future take on what it would be like in a place like New York City. And we still have taxis, but now they're flying. And it's just like such an interesting like world view, like a
Hmm.
world building thing to me.
Yeah. But so when and I don't know if they meant to put this in, but I was like, when Korben wakes up, he's smiling after jump scaring himself into waking up, and I'm like, what's that supposed to be in there? Like, who waking up smiling?
I don't think I ever paid that much attention. Maybe it's
Yeah,
a thing. Maybe it's because I've seen it so much that in my mind I just breeze right past it. But that's interesting that you would
yeah, he
try.
woke up smiling like. Then he goes back to. I'm like, bruh, you just woke up sweating bullets. Then you just like, how like that probably was supposed to be in there. That's my take. But uh, but yeah, man. So yeah, pretty much. I mean, we got a lot of characters here. Bruce Willis. He's known to play these roles as far as like just kind of being the everyday guy, but yet like kind of having this little bit of a douchebagism, and we see him violate like clearly when he tries to lip lock, and she really should have gave him the Monica slap from Love and Basketball. Like for real, because it's like, bro, you way out of pocket, like, dude, because you're attracted, don't give you no right to do this, and you don't even know what's going on. Like, don't get me wrong, you did just drop down, and I did give my last little license point to you, like, but still,
I owe you a kiss?
no, you don't own nothing. But
Oh,
still, I'm saying, bro, you need to get permission, brother. Like, come on, dog. Even in 2263, when we got characters like Ruby Rhod,
consent.
always, brother.
Yeah.
Good question. What do you feel about Mila Jovovich as Leeloo being referred to as like the perfect human being? Like her in this role as the supreme being, the perfect woman.
Nah, go ahead, Ash. Go ahead. My bad.
That's a great question because I was going to say,
It is.
why is that? What makes her perfect? Would be my question. I mean, obviously she's the Fifth Element, but
yeah, but they seem like they're tying it into like a visual aesthetic too, like because they're all turning around, but they all have this like heavy desire, and I don't know what I don't know what kind of motion they got in 2263. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's any jazz at all. Because the show didn't look like it on the ship, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, unless you go to that vacation spot like my man Ruby, but it didn't bother me. I know we're looking at it from our lens of our year, but it was like kind of like respectfully, nah, bro. Like I got there. There's people in the 90s. Like if you said Nia, like if Nia was the Fifth Element, then it'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely. You could see the whole thing. Or maybe, I mean, I could see that. I'm like, oh yeah, Nia Long, she's the Fifth Element. Boom, that makes sense. The perfect. Her, respectfully, because I think she did an amazing job in the role. So it ain't no knock on her acting, and she knows And shout out to her because the writer, and I didn't get to say this, but the writer wrote this back in high school. You know what I'm saying? And kept the script for so long. And he made up that language. And then he taught her the language. And then them two was able to actually talk back and forth in the made up language that he had. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that. But yeah, I mean, it's 97, so it is what it is, but it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, it's not Jessica Biel. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just feel like there's other people in mind that I feel like, how do you get there? But I mean, and I don't even know what they're referencing. Like what we're thinking visual aesthetic, but maybe, and Mia, maybe you've seen it a numerous times. Maybe they're referring to something else. I don't know.
So it's supposed to be like they're playing on, they're saying physically,
like everything,
aesthetically, from a cellular level, like her genetics, she is supposed to be just like the perfect specimen of human being, like perfect looks, perfect genes, perfect cellular structure, all the above. And I can see from a 1997 lens what the beauty standard was.
Oh yeah, the size 0 over here.
These blue eyes, teeny, tiny little
bee stings,
00 heroin chic type of body. And I don't get me wrong, because I think Mila Jovovich is very pretty.
No, not bad at all. Like no disrespect at all. It's just,
however, from the lens of 2026, we talk about, or it's gonna be a different look that I think if they were to ever try to remake this, which I hope they never do because they be touching too much, they probably would go with someone a little bit closer to the African side.
Oh, where they're going to be like racially ambiguous, but you're going to know that within that ambiguality, if that's a word, there's some ambiguity. There's going to be some drops of the chocolate in there. You know that's going to be in the mix for sprinkle. You know, it's going to be in the mix. If they were to do, and if they were to do something like this, I think just spin it off to something else. Like it's in that universe, but it's not the sequel. Like this movie absolutely could be done, but again, I don't know because you guys are going to put more money into the special effects instead of the actual equipment and the set design. And that's the issue with movies now. It's more special. We'll do it in post. A green screen. Like a lot of this is set design. And that's what Mia, I know you were talking about, you want to talk about the visual, and we can get into that. But like a lot of this is more of the set design. Like that's what made this movie so good and fresh. I'm like, man, this movie is just it's so good on the eyes. Like I'm enjoying being on the ship with them in this world, in the taxi, even when she hops out and she escapes and goes down. I'm like, yo, just seeing the cars flying while she's going down. Like, this is fire, bro.
That's the thing. And I hate to spend too much time on it because I know that we typically talk about the plot and everything. But with a movie like this, because of how it was made, it's almost impossible not to talk about like the difference between practical effects like they were using in this movie and all of the CGI that we see now. Like the reason why it looks so cool is because a lot of that stuff was built. That was real practical effects. Like those were animatronics and makeup and not like computer effects. And it makes it so much more real. Like it looks like a real world and not something that somebody, made in a computer and put on a movie screen.
But her hopping through the wall, like when she got out of the little bubble and hopping through the wall, they kind of shortchanged that part because it looked like her literally hopping through aluminum foil. Like, I gotta get that. Like she hopped through the joint. I'm like, bruh, this is aluminum foil. Like, come on, y'all. Like after she just bust her hand through the glass, jumping through aluminum foil is crazy.
Got out of there though. I'm the fifth element. Of course, I'm getting out of here, bruh. Stop playing with me. But she gets to running off and everything, and is she Russian in real life? Mia, do you know?
Mila Jovovich, I believe, is of Russian descent. I think she's
Or maybe
American,
Belarus, maybe. But yeah. Oh, maybe of descent. Okay.
Jovovich is definitely a Russian
It's
name.
definitely over there. Yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, so like we just talked about, like her
Korben.
and Korben, they end up interacting, and the police pull over. Which again, that's what the movie is doing good. They do that, like, we got to hook our car to your car because this is the only way you could actually do a pullover. These are the details that I was enjoying. Like I started finding myself enjoying more of how cool they could flex, because in the midst of getting pulled over, police got a hook to your whip because you can't go nowhere, which you can see how easy you get away. And then you see McDonald's, you see Mickey D's, even in 2263. This is probably one of the most profound this is probably one of the most profound things I've ever seen in a movie, is like the fact they got McDonald's in 2263, and they got the fly through.
The fly through.
Come on, bruh. That's what makes this movie so good. That's the stuff I was intrigued by. This is something that I would just enjoy as a series. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed all of these little details. I would love to see a coming of age story in this world. That's how enjoyable it was. But like getting them burgers, like them, I don't even know. They might. I mean, we seen her throw a turkey into a microwave and pull it out in like 5 seconds. A peel, and it turned into a turkey. And look, how crazy is that? I know we all have seen on Instagram where they threw the peel in the fryer and it became fries. Yeah, so it's crazy even seeing this in 97. You throw a peel in the microwave, you get a whole turkey. So we don't even know. Y'all concerned about McDonald's burgers now. Imagine what the burgers is at 2263. Huh?
Lord have mercy.
They probably like plant-based, like microwavable type, like Krabby Patty type stuff. But let me ask you a question. Like Korben is, we never get Korben's, like we never understand his heart of this movie.
You don't think so?
Not fully. I mean, I see that like he's looking for love. He whatever happened with his last relationship, ex-wife, but he's still looking for love. He's looking for somebody that's just perfect. And then she says, "Please help. Oh, you know what, baby? I'm gonna risk it all. Here you go. I'm gonna take my last license point. Now I'm about to be driving without a license. My only way of making money in this little city or whatever. I'm about to do that because you've put two words together, and I don't even know you, and you busted my roof up, and you ain't paid me fair. Make this make sense for me,
Ash."
It's a great question, because I'm with him on that. Like, how did we get there? Maybe if we would have got a little more time with Korben. Obviously, him and his mother's dynamic is on the rocks there.
it's definitely giving the Egan's the Egan's for sure.
He don't really care to talk to her too much. Probably just be getting on his nerves. And then found out that he did have, said his job kind of ruined his previous marriage. And so, so I mean, we learned a little bit, but I would have liked to learn more because, like I said, I still don't. I mean, he saw her, like you said, all the things that you just mentioned, how they met, and then he saw her, and he's like, I have her, but I don't know, like, and it's not in another section, but I don't know that I needed that romantic dynamic between Korben and Leeloo. Like,
that's so fun. I'm usually the one who's like, I didn't need that.
I know, right?
I actually really like it here.
It is switch. It's crazy. Like, I'm not mad at it. It worked in the end, how it all played out. But did I need it? Or did I need more from Korben to believe it? You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm not mad at it, but I kind of wanted to. Again, but
I guess she's supposed to be this perfect specimen. So
right, like they created
she's supposed to be
her,
on the eyes where it's like anybody that sees her is like, oh, and I guess like we got to suspend our actual because I don't see it. It's not a lot of jazz for me. But in the words
No,
of
I hear
Mia,
what you're
there is a
saying.
market for it. But I think that that's what we're supposed to believe. Like every person that sees the Fifth Element is like supposed to be like, oh, and that's,
But
but
sometimes
I'm just saying, play help, play
but
help.
I
but
think
I'm
it was
not.
supposed to be like he. It
I'm
was
not
like
even
love
talking
at first.
aesthetically. I'm
It
not
was
even
love
talking
at first
aesthetically.
sight. I
Okay.
think that he was just really intrigued by her. Like it was just like such a random and
Mm-hmm.
unexpected meeting. How she fell into his cab, and she's like a damsel in distress. She needs help.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has to save the day and come to her rescue. But then you see when he tries to plant that kiss, and she
Mm-hmm.
put that,
Don't you ever put your stinking
man.
ass hands on me. And
Okay,
I'm telling my big brother.
she pulled the I'm saying and put it straight to his head and said, "Never without my permission." So
Absolutely.
What make it even nastier? He looked around. That's the nasty part. Like he's looking at her. He looks around first. Then I like, bro. They did, but I like that she pulled the strap on him. Like, hey, huh? What we talking about now, huh? Huh?
I,
You was just gonna take it, wasn't you? I'm a man, Damon. Like that's what that was. That was that moment right there.
I love that detail because too many times, like we see, like the hero in the
Mm-hmm.
just gets the girl the kiss and she's all
Mm-hmm.
shy and timid, but nah, she wasn't going for none of it. And I just love that they gave her that strength of like presence of mind and
Mm-hmm.
that autonomy where she's standing up for like, no, get consent first, my guy.
Yeah, absolutely. But they didn't lay out the rules. Mia, you've emphasized that a lot in some of our earlier reviews, and they didn't really lay out the rules with the Fifth Element of like how are we supposed to take her. Like she's not really human. She's not alien. She's what I mean, we don't know how we're supposed
I
to
think she
receive the
is.
Fifth Element.
I think she's human, but she is like a superhuman.
Is she like Lucy?
You know what? Kinda, yeah. Like
Hmm.
she's not immortal. Like she is definitely mortal. She can die, but she is a superhuman. Like you saw when they were regenerating her body, she had more genes, like more, cellular structure than the normal human. She had more genetic code. She can pick up things really quickly. She learns visually. She can hear a language and learn to speak it. Is she just like, she is a superhuman, but human, which I think in the grand scheme of the elements, it's like earth, air, fire, water, and then the human element.
Mm-hmm.
So she is human, but she's like the prototype of humanity
Mm-hmm.
She's like perfection of what humanity could be. But the flaw is that she could die.
because that's what makes her human.
Aha.
Ah,
I got it. That's pretty good. Look at that. So yeah, Ash, I think that makes good points. Ash, I think you make some great points too with um like just not getting enough of where Korben's coming from. I mean, he's probably definitely a certified lover boy to some degree, and even saving her, that is probably his military background, which we know this is a trope in the '90s where you're doing something completely different. Oh, it finds out you're ex-military, like
Yeah.
that. Would there's tons of movies like this. You know what I mean? So as far as that plot device, but we meet Zorg, and he's a big character in the movie. Um, and there's a lot of good moments. He got a crazy gun that goes crazy. When he meets the what do you call these guys?
oh my goodness! Hold on, I have to look it up because I can't remember what they're called, but they are some specific alien race.
yeah. But they can morph. Uh, But yeah, so we
Ugly boy.
Boy, ugly. I ain't even like how I did my man's the black man. Like, hey man, go on transform back, bro. Like, nah. Like, let me be accepted. Let me fit in.
What did Chris Tucker said? They're ugly and they stink.
Yeah.
They look like it too. But we get that, you know, we meet Zorg and we can kind of cover the whole Zorg thing, but like Zorg, so his whole thing is he pretty much on the Thanos vibe? Where like he's trying to get population down for the sake of humanity, so to speak. Because that's the way it felt like when him and the priest had an interaction. He was like, look, you know, kind of like getting rid of this many people. There's, you know, more of this and more of that. It seemed like that's kind of what he was on, but I ain't really quite get Zorg's.
Zorg was, his philosophy was you have to create chaos to give people purpose. Like when he made a mess and he's like, look, you create a little chaos and now all these people have something to do. But when they were talking about getting rid of people, he was talking about firing people from his organization.
Mm. So then why are you making special weapons to fire people? This is just like
He's an arms dealer.
Okay.
All and right. He I wish I could remember Mangalore. I think that's what they're called. Mangalores.
Okay. But his character was good though. He was a good addition to the movie. I think everybody did a really good job for every part that was played. That's kind of I was struggling with. Like, these are the moments where the movie kind of got challenging as far as the overarching plot. You know, I'm like, okay, save the world. You know, on some Pinky in the Brain type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing we try to do every day. But there's these little side moments that it's like, okay, so he didn't get what he was looking for in the suitcase. And so he allows them to blow themselves up. But I'm like, are they really your enemies, or like this is where I'm confused?
Okay. See, this is why it's so crazy to me, like to have grown up with this movie and you guys watching it for the first time. Because I just feel like I'm just here to be your guide through the fifth element and explain.
Oh, you need to. Sci-fi is definitely down there as far as genres for me. So, I mean, Matrix is probably I don't know. I might have to look at it, but Matrix might be it's probably top 5 for me, sci-fi, because I understood it so much. Understanding is very important for me when it comes to movies. But again, yeah.
In this one, think of it like the stones are bargaining chips.
Mm-hmm.
So Zorg is looking for the stones, and everywhere he thinks the stones are, they are not.
Okay.
So he was trying to exchange the guns to the Mangalores for the stones. They were supposed to get them. They were supposed to steal them from the ship that they blew up at the beginning when they got that little piece of Leeloo to regenerate. But the stones were already gone. So whatever case that they got to take to Zorg was already empty. But they didn't know that. They just thought that they get the suitcase.
Yeah, they didn't know what they was looking for.
But the other aliens from the beginning were so smart that they had already passed them on to somebody else they could trust before they were ever attacked. So the whole thing is just Zorg trying to find the stones and thinking he's found them, and every time he gets there, they're already gone.
So he's trying to get the stones just to cause chaos.
Exactly. I think he's trying to get them for Mr. Shadow, this is the one thing that I'm confused with. I don't know exactly who Mr. Shadow is. I don't know if Mr. Shadow is the great evil, or
he better be.
If he's trying to get them for another reason. I know that Zorg wants to get them for Mr. Shadow, though.
Well, it could be that spirit ball or whatever, like you said, because they said that they sensed intelligence, which is why it was able to guard itself when their ship was shooting at it. So it could be that where it's intelligent enough to even be able to audibly speak. But then again, it makes you wonder, like, how long have y'all been on talking bases, bro? You know what I mean? But Ash, what did you think about? So in the scene where the priest pulls up on Zorg, there's a scene which is a crazy little thing. So there's this technology. He's drinking a drink. He knocks the drink off he slides the drink off the table, and when he does that, there's these devices that look like they clean the floor. Am I right on that, Mia?
The little those little critters, the little creatures.
No, not the creatures. It was like some little machines that was on the
twisty things.
Yeah, they was like twisting around and stuff. And I thought that was crazy because of what we have in our in 2026 of
like the little when he spilled the thing on the foot. I think they're like little robots, kind of like what we will have now is like a Roomba.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I was like, bro, that's crazy in '97. Like, you know,
yeah, that link didn't work. I wish it did.
So
I could see it, but
I don't know why. Let me see. Let me click on this thing because I don't know why I wouldn't.
It on my end though, but it said the link was blocked or something.
All right, I'll get no more. A different one.
You kind of backups, don't you?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got two. I got at least two. But like pretty much the priest pulls up. I'm gonna get that to you, Ash. The priest pulls up and like now he pulls up on Korben, and in the midst of pulling up on Korben, like getting the Fifth Element, the police are like checking rooms and pretty much he has to hide the priest, for a moment, and you get plastic wrapped. And I'm not sure how Korben even gets away with this. Again, you're gonna have to guide us. Because I'm like, he says he's classified as a meat popsicle. Obviously he's being a douchebag.
I don't think that plays into anything really. I think he was just trying to be funny.
Yeah, no doubt. But I was confused at how did they know it was him?
I don't know. I think that they were unsure if it was like him or his neighbor, like where he lived.
Well, I'm saying, what system of identification do y'all have? That's kind of why I was confused, because it's like, if it's unidentified, then you can assume that's him. If it is identified, then you got him. So that's why I was like, how is that possible? Like, that's why I was confused that how did he get by? They're just zooming in. Does he not got identification? They know he was in the military, so how don't y'all know this is Korben?
I don't think that was the police that were looking for him. I think those were Zorg's guys.
They were dressed up as police guys?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they were trying to take him out because Zorg wanted his guy to get on the flight and pretend to be Korben Dallas, just like Cornelius tried to send Billy, I think it is, on the flight as Korben Dallas. So everybody was trying to take his place on that flight.
But eventually that, the military, they do come to him like, hey, we got a special mission for you. Obviously it's a 90s cliche. This used to be in the military. We need you to, but they don't do they really verbalize what the mission is? Because I feel like he was kind of like, they were saying it, then he put him in a freezer, and he took the paperwork, and now we are to assume that he's supposed to protect the Fifth Element.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So what happened? His captain came after, the whole thing with the president, and he wants Korben to go up there and get the stones from the diva Plava Laguna, the opera singing alien. And Cornelius comes and he sees Leeloo while his captain is there. So he's like, "Oh, you have to hide." And then Cornelius comes in and he's like, "No, we have to go get the stone. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna need your ticket." And it's just like everybody's trying to get there at the same time. So I don't think that his captain ever really got to explain in full, but I think that once he saw Leeloo and saw that they were trying to take his place on the flight, he just decided that he was going to do it himself. Which it makes sense while you're watching the movie. It just feels like a lot to explain.
Watching it like bro said, even though it's sci-fi, it made sense as you're watching it. But like fighting about it is
because there's so much going on in the movie.
It's like it's a lot of little pieces that you can't like leave out, or you know what I mean. So,
like if we talk about every little, like there's so much going on at the same time. Like it all makes sense in the moment, but to explain it all, it's just like so much going on.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm seeing Ruby Rhod, like the whole thing when they pull up. And bruh, like he all up in their face. I was like, yo, Chris Tucker getting it off. He's getting it off.
He's going down and dirty.
Yeah, he was getting to it. Like one of them passed out. I'm like, yeah, it's believable.
Because really, like, I think to move it along a little bit, because there's so much going on. Everybody wants to get to Floss in Paradise, which is another planet, which is supposed to be like the perfect planet vacation spot. But Korben ends up on the flight with Leeloo, and now Cornelius has got himself on the plane as a stowaway in like the baggage area. And we finally get to the vacation where we meet Ruby Rhod, and we find out that the big celebrity performer is the one who has the stones, which now we're getting towards the crux of everything, where now the Mangalores are there and the concert is happening. They're trying to kill Leeloo. They're trying to get the stones. And now there's the whole shootout on the ship.
Yeah. The singer doing the opera, getting in that bag, it was funny. Like all that was,
my favorite scene, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's me and Mama C's favorite.
Yeah, that completely tracks. Yeah.
And you want to hear a funny piece of trivia about that? The lady who did that scene, she spent so much time in makeup for that, like that costume and that makeup, that she was pissed off when she saw the movie and they had cut her scene with the fighting scene of Leeloo. And she was like, I can't believe like all the work that I put into that scene that they cut it and like went back and forth between that and the fighting scene.
Oh, wow.
But I was like, bro, it's my movie. Like, chill out, dude. Like,
yeah, but she was just like, she felt like she was so into that performance that she just was offended when she saw that they like had it cut with the fighting scene, which I thought was really cool. I think it was
it was. It's a perfect music
harmony, like kind of like you said with Zorg, like giving them a reason to do something. So it's like you got the beauty, the beauty of the opera, and then you got them fighting like the chaos of the balance.
And it was everybody else in the cast first time seeing her, so all their reactions to her are like real time. They hid her from the cast until her performance so that they would all be seeing her for the first time.
Wow. So those stairs was real then, huh?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's like, bro, if you're an opera singer and then you sign up to do something like this, you just it's how the game go. But yeah, pretty much, like Mia said, we kind of get the whole shootout, and the whole thing kind of gets tied in a nice bow. The visual effects are great once they get all of the elements together, and of course, we get the fifth element. She's in the middle, and then we get this like last part where like I don't know, they somehow get back into the tube, and now he's kissing her in there. I'm like, I thought she was supposed to be dead, like, because the fifth element can't really exist. I was kind of confused there, but okay, that's where they ended. Like now the kiss is consensual.
So, okay.
I do want a sidebar though. Leeloo was kicking butt back there.
She
Wow,
was.
They could have did better on that too.
No, she was killing it.
Now in the '90s, when people really was getting to it on choreography with fighting, they could have did better.
She was on her Charlie's Angels.
It's because them dudes, the Mangalores, had them heavy ass suits on. I'm sure that's what it was. Like Ninja Turtles, like they had them heavy suits on, and that's where like the choreography was a little slow. Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about like the very end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Leeloo saves the world. Zorg puts a bomb on the ship. They escape to Egypt where it all began. They have the stones. And she is the fifth element. They have to open the stones, and she doesn't want to do it because she feels like humanity is so corrupt. Like, what is the point? And basically, Korben's love is what convinces her to save the world because stop it, Ash. Because
come on, man.
Love is worth living for. That's what is worth saving the world for. So she saves the world, and you think that she is gonna die, but she doesn't. And they put them in a regenerator to, kind of like get them.
Lover girl. I'm a lover girl, you know this. I love. But here I just can't.
Watch the movie 20 more times.
20 is crazy.
20 is crazy.
You in love.
I didn't even watch Love and Basketball 20 times. I'm not watching this movie.
I've been watching this movie for 20 years. Plus 25. I don't know, because y'all don't know how old I am. Quick, y'all get out of my business.
You're right.
This movie for a long time.
Who don't know?
It don't matter.
They don't know.
Oh, okay.
It don't matter. It don't matter. I've been watching this movie for a long time. You got to watch it.
I watched this like 2-3 more times.
Twice. If I can't get it in 2 times, no.
I'm gonna think that the love was true, and it's gonna make me be like, you know what?
Maybe I'm biased.
Maybe.
You keep saying maybe like you're not. Like you are, and it's okay. Hey, we are all biased. Like that's the human experience. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I like what I like. We all like what we like.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I'm telling y'all, we gonna talk about this again.
10
years.
Oh my gosh.
Lessons, 10 years. Shoot.
Yeah, straight up, for real. But yeah, so anything else? Just making sure. Anything else you want? Any little side notes? Anything about the film before we get into our later section? I don't want to just go past it without making sure that anything else that you like. Oh, I thought this is cool. I thought that was awesome. Anything before we get into our next section?
The only thing I want to say is like I think again the practical effects. I think it was really cool that they let Leeloo get dirty, like as a woman, a love interest in an action movie. We usually have like Like if you watch like Jurassic World, she's running through the forest in heels, her makeup's still perfect, her shirt's tied up, and she isn't dirty at all after running through the forest. But you see Leeloo, she done got dirty, her hands are dirty,
Super committed.
you know, and it's just like I love the realism and how realistic things were in the 90s when movies were made. And that's it really.
No, that's fire. You're right. Like, and I think the actress that came in playing that, I think she was super committed. I mean, she learned the made up language. So it's being super committed to like, I'm gonna be thrown around, I'm gonna be half naked, I'm gonna be whatever. Like, I mean, they were dyeing her hair and then she ended up having to wear a wig because they had to dye it so much. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah. All right. Character you can relate to or identify with the most. Ash.
I didn't have anybody.
Mia.
I didn't have anybody either, because this is a little,
Yeah.
If I had to pick somebody, I probably would say the priest. Just because there's some hesitancy of knowing what you. Sometimes there's hesitancy in knowing what you got to do, knowing you are the one that has to do it, nobody else. And once he realized it failed trying to send his lackey or the trainer, the one he was training, and he didn't do it. He knew he's like, I got to do this. I got to find a way to get on this plane. And so sometimes I can relate to that. Just like you might be hesitant to your role until you just got to embrace it. Like, hey, I got to do this, even if it costs me. You know what I'm saying? Get to stepping. Character you could do without. Ash.
There are a lot of characters in this movie, but I had nobody here. I'm sure there's probably some people that could have got cut, but none that really stood out to me. So I had nobody.
Mia?
As you know, I love this movie down. There's nobody that I would take out, but if I had to choose something, I would say just the voice of Korben's mom. I think that was kind of like a throw in that didn't add or subtract anything from the plot or the substance of the movie. So I could have done without the voice of Korben's mom. So we never see her, but I mean, I'm not mad at it. It could have, I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. He's in two sections, but here I'm gonna go with Billy, which is in the opening scene. My man Luke Perry. He was just not needed. We could have had the two guys or whatever, and then the aliens show up, but we don't need Luke Perry. I'll speak to that in a later section. So Luke Perry is Billy in the beginning of the movie. Lines that deserve to be slimed. Ash?
I just had one. It was from Korben when he was like, "You can call me when you learn how to speak English." Like that for some reason.
That's good. Mia?
Okay, I have a few. I have, are you classified as human? Negative. I am a meat popsicle. That was, the Korben and the police. And then they're called the Mondashawan aliens at the beginning of the movie. Time not important, only life important. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Leeloo, what's the use in saving life when you see what you do with it? And then Korben, whoa, lady, I only speak two languages, English and bad English.
Got one quote from my man Ruby. I want one position, I want all the positions.
Oh, mercy.
I was like, bro, he's Chris Tucker fried, bro. Like just fried. Things you would change about the movie or what you feel they didn't get right. Ash.
I'll say that already. Just spend a little more time with Korben, maybe a little more backstory, maybe even some flashes of him in the military. I don't know, just something to kind of get a little bit more from him. But yeah, I'll leave it there.
Yeah, Mia.
Nothing. I love this movie just the way it is. I might be biased.
You in this might word. Like, listen.
Cut the mic. Cut it.
Chat GPT. Give us other words outside though. Same thing coming back. Luke Perry in the opening scene. They gave us the Chris Brown stump the yard, bro, in '97. Like he was by '97, there was already 7 seasons of 90210. He was a huge star, and bringing him in, and I'm sure he probably was in the trailer. So like, oh, Luke Perry in here, and just to see like, oh, he don't even make it past 1914. So that I think this movie was trying to do too many things. Because I think the guy that wrote it was probably like really excited because this is something he wrote so long ago, and it's like you're trying to do too many things. To me, like it's like that's where it makes. So when they save the world, the payoff is not really there because I get so distracted with, oh, they're on vacation. Oh, he's on the tux. Oh, this is a radio host, dude. Oh, he's getting it in. Oh, the Fifth Element's got feelings. Oh, the Fifth Element is learning. It's too many things going on for me. So it doesn't make the movie bad. It's just too much going on for me. And I'm gonna leave it there. More of the story in your opinion, Ash.
I almost forgot about this part here. I'm so sorry. But I guess humanity is flawed, but still worth saving.
Mia.
That's literally almost exactly what I had. I had like
Word?
almost word for word. I literally had, regardless of the flaws of mankind, life is still worth fighting for.
See, we'll be here.
I'm gonna tie it back into an early decision that was made from the president. It's like if you have any doubt then that's not the decision to make. That's it. He had doubt, and the guy obviously ended up doing it, but he shouldn't have done it. I mean, obviously he's going by counsel, but like the priest came and told him like what was going on. He was like, I have doubt, but you should have like emphasized it and asserted your authority as the president. But the guy had already, made the decision. So it's like, bro, if you got doubt, that's not the route to go. Like you need to be sure. Don't, in the words of Tony Soprano, don't say you're sure if you're not sure. So, and that is our episode, y'all. Truly, we thank y'all for listening. This is our last segment, which is the reveal of our next episode. And it is Ashley's turn for our free dealer's choice rotation. We have not talked prior to on air as much as some people might think we do. We don't. So we have no idea. Our reaction is as fresh as y'all's is. The floor is yours, Ash.
I'm so excited. It's my turn. You guys have taken me through the ringer. I'm going last. So we're going up 1 year. So we're going to 98. This actor we haven't talked about yet in any of our films. We've talked about him before. I actually did switch my movie. It's still in the range of what I like, but I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about this one, but it's still in that classic bag. So with that being said, 1998, we are going to be reviewing Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
I knew that was what it is when you said 98.
Lyman. We got tons of relationship dynamics. Y'all know that's my bag. You know that's what I love. And it's a staple in the household. Like this, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be so many quotes. Who knows?
Man, I'm low-key mad you picked that because when we get to our biopic round, that's what I was going to pick.
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Bro, that's why
I scratched it.
You know what? I swear I was like, oh, this is perfect because a lot of people don't know about Frankie Lyman, and I was like, oh, this is, and I've been wanting to talk about the movie, thought about it in Romance Month, but I was like, all right, let it marinate. So
not about biopic.
And that's why I was like, damn it, but I ain't mad at it. What do you think? What do you feel about that pick, Mia?
You know what? My first thought was like, oh, it is a biopic, but I don't mind,
But it don't feel like it.
It really does. Like, it's so crazy that does. But I'm excited. I love this movie.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I just watched a reaction to it a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it here in 1998. And next week, there will not be a current event or things that were going on in 98 because we've done that, I think, that year already, so I won't bring up stuff for that. And also, sidebar as we get out of here, is Tiny Liston, has he been in the most movies that we've done here? Because I started to think about it. He was in this one. He was in our last one. He was in real quick. Let me find our stuff real quick. Sorry, I ain't trying to hold you up, but
he has been in a lot of the movies.
Yeah, he sheesh. Dang it. Okay, I'll get back to you on that because it was something that made me think. Because I think he's been in 3 movies that we've done, but I can't think of the third one. And I like, is he the one that's been in the most movies that we've done so far? But I'll come back to that. I don't want to hold you up, and I'll see. But
and we got Hallie and Vivica. I don't want to just put too much emphasis on Lorenz, which I know Mia's gonna lay the land. But yeah, shout out to all the heavy hitters.
Yeah, a lot of jazz, a lot of justice, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
All right, y'all. Well, look, man, it's getting late. We've been talking dirty after dark. See what I did there. Ladies, wonderful job as always. Listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. I know y'all enjoy this every Thursday, finishing our week off strong. This is what we do. You heard the next movie. Y'all start sending in those movies now. So after we review next week's episode, we will be doing the Stoop Kid selection. And we are fair with it. Y'all the ones that vote, and we pick what is the highest voted. So y'all do that right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace out.